Hello my bills. As you may know, the new PTB has been released alongside the ongoing 2v8 event. I skimmed through the PTB and it was very underwhelming. I say this because it has a very obvious imbalance for overall changes to Survivor and Killer, with more for survivors and very few for killers that are actually helpful. Let me show you what I mean. Take a look at these images I took of the general changes, not specific to any perks, add-ons, or killer-specific abilities the PTB notes had between both sides. Notice anything weird? That's right. If you can count, you can see that there is one general change for all killers, not any specific killer. Already, we can see that there's definitely favoritism within the devs for a specific side. We all know that such an imbalance has not been overlooked by players. I'd say more about the PTB, but there are already quite a few videos about the changes, plus the recent dev stream. So instead, I wanted to talk about some ideas I have for the developers. What are some of these ideas? Firstly, I want to put some more spotlight on things behavior should be focusing on, such as the problem with the current tutorial and how it doesn't help new players but sets them up for failure, as well as other issues that haven't been addressed, like limited options for players who struggle with colorblindness. Now yes, I did watch Oddstarva's video, however, I'd like to add on to what he said regarding the audio perk equipped. Yes, there probably was a statistic that new players were not using their perks in their matches, so giving them perks to use automatically will help them, right? Wrong. You see, just because they are suddenly running a perk doesn't mean they actually know how to use it. It's like if they end up using no mither and then finding a medkit in a match and desperately hoping they can heal themselves. The problem here lies in the fact that the devs try to easy fix issues like that and call it a day. It might be a quick solution, but will ultimately have more problems later. Something they could add to combat the use of no perks is an automatic pop-up if a player has 0 equipped, which again, Oddstarva brought up. But this can help both new players and current players as well, since after events or updating, the game sometimes resets perk loadouts. It can be quite frustrating to players when they load into a match and realize too late they have no perks equipped. A pop-up idea could be something like, "You have no perks equipped, do you wish to proceed?" That activates when you hit ready, with none selected, and disappears if you hit ready a second time or select the perk tab. Now the tutorial for one should be the main how-to for the game, but it only covers a bare minimum of general mechanics. Then there's the Survive Against the Bot, which had potential, but they kept it too simple with only Trapper. What they could do to improve upon this is add a beginner game category in the tutorial. It will take some time, but they can showcase perks from both sides and how they work, and possibly cover other perks they synergize with. To improve the Survive Against a Bot, they can make it where you can choose which killer you want to go against, whether it's original or licensed, and regardless if you own the character or not. Now you might say, but you can technically do that in custom matches. Maybe so, but you need at least someone else to play a killer, and that's if they own the killer. And many of the players in the game are solo. So, of course, I took into account the fact that every time they add new killers to 2v8, they have to make a bot for them. They can add the current bots as well as the new killer bots to the revamped tutorial every new 2v8. It's practically 2 birds with 1 stone. It should also come with options to choose perks for both sides as well as items and add-ons, plus maps. Basically, it will be similar to custom game mode, but it's only against bots of any killer. This way, if they are struggling against certain killers or perk builds, they can practice going against a bot to learn how to counter them. It obviously won't be the same as going against a real player, but it can help prepare them for real matches. So now, if new players go into normal matches, they have some more knowledge of the game. This can also tackle new players encountering and struggling against returning players or those who make new accounts. I'm sure if they add a revamped tutorial like this, it will help integrate new players and keep them around. From what we've seen, every time we get a flood of new players, they never stay long because of the big learning curve the game has. There's also many other issues that affect new players like the bugs, but hopefully this idea can change one of the big problems. So I have in fact also watched JRM's video about the new scratch marks. I personally don't struggle with color blindness. At least I don't think so. But I agree that it definitely was a good addition. I didn't realize how bad it was for some players that they would need to use their own filters just to play. I feel like they could add on to the color options with other things as well, such as the different auras of gens, killers, items, and hooks. Not to mention, some maps have specific color hues from others, so some auras are harder to spot on these maps. I understand that changes like these are a tall order for the devs. This is behavior we're talking about, but they should consider them anyways. After all, the game has been struggling with players both angry and frustrated, with many quitting in the process. I'm sure they could definitely use a win right now. My main hope is that the devs see this video, or players do, and they can push out these ideas to others. I understand if my ideas for the devs are not that great. Again, these are some opinions and suggestions. I just want new players to not struggle as much and feel hopeless to the game's wonky beginner system. Well, that's all for this video. I'll be posting 2 videos about TV8 since it was extended. Then you best believe I'll be posting more frequently during December. It's Dwelf's time to shine. So keep a lookout for a special video I'll make during the Christmas event. Also, props and thanks towards my thumbnail artist Daisy. Please check out her channel as well, which I'll leave in the description. And jingle on, gamers!